Only thing is that there is a lot of things that we don't know because we live in a world where so much of anxious and always thinking that we are less sensitive to what is happening inside and outside. So we are so concerned about our ideas that me, as I know myself, is concerned about what we should do, what I should do, how it keeps going. And that's always like a kind of a barrier. I'm not telling that one shouldn't think. What I'm saying is that if somehow that barrier decreases, like we become totally careless for some reason about come to know that there is nothing you can do.
There's no what future?
There is no future, nothing you can do. It's just a part of the world of life. It's just come, it will stay for some time and it will go. There's nothing to do anything about it that much. If I'm not telling it's a practice, what I'm saying is that this is how it makes sense inside, and then you become very sensitive. There are a lot of things happen, and if you don't give any mystical intonation to it, it happens even more. Because you are not concerned. Because your concern, or you think that you are going to solve the mystery, or you will find something extraordinary, will actually put again a bigger barrier. If you just, it's okay, I don't know, it's just maybe just if you cut the hand, the blood will come. It's like dharma means it's a physical property of the system. Your biological system, which is converting the light wave and the sound wave to meaningful images and words for the survival, is just the work of the biological machine. Very, very highly intellectual, and this capacity has been handed down for generation to generation through this one dot that produces in your mother's uterus and father's whatever place. So these are all there. It's not there to, and part of your experiences is just a byproduct of that machine. Any powerful machine has a lot of connections, the layers and layers and layers of connection. It created that, and it will have a lot of byproduct power and capacities and things like that. And there will be lots of nooks and crannies and disorders and things like that too. Anything which is very complicated and stable and functioning will have lots of things that can go wrong. That's the way it is. So that's the property of the system. So if you don't give any importance, don't try to make any myth out of your experiencing something which is uncommon and unknown, will put your system into more sensitive situation, which is opposite to the religious practice.
Mm-hmm.
So your system wants to be extremely sensitive for itself, because it not only has to figure out itself what is wrong inside and tune it, spontaneously correct it, and also its sensitivity to the external world, to all the other face. Suppose somebody comes with a bad intention, my one look to that face should tell me, stay away. Or, it's okay unless. Every animal knows which other animals are harmless or which are unfair. So like that also we have all these things there. But because of our constant repetition of the instrument that we call ourselves, our knowledge, and wanting to know how to resolve the mysteries and wanting to gather more information about that, is actually created a parallel universe inside which is shielding us from this sensitivity all the time. We are actually, in all practice, religious or otherwise, makes you more insensitive to your surroundings. You are not sensitive. But physical system wants to function at its peak sensitivity. So there is a struggle. You want to impose certain ideas, religious or otherwise, and the system wants to free itself from those ideas. Mm-hmm. Because it's a burden to itself. So that struggle we spend all life, but for some reason if the power goes to the functioning of the way it is supposed to function, it begins to gather a momentum and power which will give it more and more space to work the way it is supposed to work and keep the parallel processor at bay until it requires its help. On demand, it will be accessible to give a helping hand, nothing else.
You said somehow if the power goes to that part where it can start operating.
Not
that
power,
way.
like it can, for example, you have a capacity to walk fast. Okay. And somehow your load is so much, with that load you can't go that fast. So your body is functioning. You need X amount of oxygen to different parts of your brain and other limbs so that it can be healthy and growing accordingly. Somehow if it is depleted or deprived, it won't unlock everything that is supposed to and function, right? Somehow in this competition, that which is unnecessary is reduced. The wastage of energy somehow is reduced. Maybe it gets a chance to rejuvenate itself and begin to function the way it is supposed to function. That's all. Not any ideas or anything. And then it's like suddenly your immune system became function properly, so it itself will make you healthy. Not your effort. So if every glands and everything, they are supposed to get proper rest and unfold its working the way it is supposed to work. Say you have something from 0 to 11, 12 years old, it's not necessary. Then at the 12 years, it's begin to tick. You started producing sperm. Your whole idea is going to change. So are many things in the body if it starts working the way it is supposed to work. But there can be something wrong also there. There are a lot of people who have a lot of problems. And that's why the complicated system can have many things that can go wrong. So that's what I'm telling, that this parallel processor, which is always through anxiety, through your artificial demand, which is nothing to do with the system, is reduced. Somehow the system begins to work the way it is supposed to work and grow, and then it makes you what? Overall healthy. What does it mean? It means nothing to most people. What does the overall healthy means? So that is if it somehow, it's not that anybody can give that, neither you can acquire that. It's already there inside you. If somehow your burden is reduced, where your anxiety, your desire, your want, everything fall in the place that it is supposed to be, perhaps it's begin to exercise its own control and own health. It is then that it starts drifting in one direction, which is to keep this parallel processor where it is supposed to be. And how you will function then is very much dependent on your culture, on your genetics, on your way.
Background.
You are not going to talk Turkish. That's what the religious people are trying to make you believe. You are not going to suddenly get a magical power of looking at somebody and telling past and future stories. If you are waiting for that, you will die in hope.